Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade and today I'm doing my 18 books I want to read in 2018. I'm excited. A lot of these I have the first book that I've read and I don't own the second book yet, or I'm ordering them, quite a few of them, and they're on their way. So I'll just be showing the first one, but I'll talk about the second one's title and stuff like that. But the first book series, I would like to read the whole series this year, is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, because I have actually never read this series. I've read the first book like 4 different times and I love it, but I've never been able to successfully read the second book. I don't know why, but I would very much like to finally do that. So that's something I'm going to do as soon as I can this year. I feel like I don't even have to describe what this book is about, because everyone knows what it is. It's City of Bones, come on. The second book I have that I really want to read is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I've actually not read this book yet. I've read the first one. I didn't particularly like it that much, but everyone on BookTube raves about this book. So I feel like it's time to read it. How many pages are in this? It's like 630. Woo! The first book is A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it's about this girl that kills a fae, so she's taken to as prisoner to this king fae's land, and he treats her very well for certain reasons that involve a curse. And the second book apparently is where it gets good, because the first book is interesting, but I hear that it really comes to life in the second book. The next series that I want to finish this year is A Throne of Glass. I'm currently on Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th book. I have not read this one yet, and then so I still have to read Empire of Storms after this one. I really want to finish it. It's one of my favorite book series. The third one is by far my favorite book. I just haven't been able to pick it up. And I bought it. I checked it out like 3 times and never picked it up. And then I finally bought it and I still haven't read it. This is also 600 pages. I feel like I should have a month where I just read long books, and that would involve these two. The next book I've read the first book this month, actually. This will be in my wrap-up. I read The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. It is about a princess that decides she doesn't want to live the life and be forced to marry someone she doesn't know. So she runs away to just work for a living and meet people and get to do things. And 2 people follow her, an assassin and the prince she left without ever. She never met him, so she thought he was old and gross, but he's really young and attractive. So both guys, they're looking for her. And they both, find her very not what they expected. And then things go down. And I'm not happy about it. And I can't wait for the second one. I'm going to start it as soon as it gets here. I ordered the second one on Book Depository. I ordered the second one on my next 2 books. I've ordered the second ones for these 2. So this year I also want to finish the series of Poison Study by Mariah V. Schneider. This is about a girl that is going to be hung because she murdered someone, and in this world when you murder someone you also get killed. It's kind of like an eye for an eye thing. But instead she's offered to become the poison taster of the commander, which is basically the king, but it's a militaristic society. So she has to taste all his food, and she has to go through learning how to identify poisons and living through testing them. And also having to deal with the father of the person she murdered trying to kill her all the time. So it's very, very good. It's just it does everything right, and I can't wait to read it. I don't like this specific cover, but on BookTube they don't, or BookTube, wow, on Book Depository they don't have the cool cover. But I ordered the next one, the cool cover, so I'll show you guys that in my, books I got this month thing. The next book that I'm also ordered and I'm going to be getting is the second one in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. This magic system is the most original magic system I've read ever, and it is incredibly amazing. I love it so much. There's this person called the Lord Ruler, and he's immortal. He's lived for thousands of years, and he's a very bad ruler, and there's like a giant slave population and then nobility. Like there's nothing in between besides like merchants maybe. And this book's from many different perspectives, but Vin is one of the main characters, and she finds out that she is something called a Mistborn, which means they can use metals, they can swallow metals and burn them and look at things like strength and like one of them to burn is strength. Another one is like persuasion, it persuades people. And then there's like there's like there's a lot of them. I can't remember them all right now. It's been a little bit since I've read this one. But she meets this guy who decides that he's going to do a heist and take down the Lord Ruler and start a rebellion, basically. So it's about doing just that, and it is very good. And I accidentally started reading the third one because I thought it was the second one, and I was like 50 pages in. I was like, this isn't the second one. So I'm waiting for the second one. The next book I have is actually the sequel to this, which is The Empress, but it's the Diabolic series, which is one of my favorite sci-fi books I've ever read. It's the same world basically, but we're so technologically advanced that everyone just lives in space. Like all the nobility lives in space on these spaceships and stuff. But the government has decided that science is blasphemy to their religion, so no one knows anything about science anymore, which means no one can take care of these things, which is bad because they're deteriorating. But that's not really what it's about. That's an off-tangent thing. But so there's these people called Diabolics, which are synthetic humans that are created to protect a person, and they will do anything they possibly can to protect that one person. And it's from the point of view of a Diabolic named Nemesis, and she has to protect her person by going to the court and pretending to be her so that basically she's not killed and she's safe. So yes, that is exciting. And then the second book is going to be so good. I cannot wait. The next one, I also know the first book. That's Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I want to read Wind Witch, which is the next one. This book is about, there's this world where some people are witches and they have different powers. And there's a very rare witch that people haven't seen in 100 years called the Truth Witch, and they know when someone's lying. And then the other main character is a Thread Witch, so she can see threads that connect people, like lust or love or hatred. She'll see the different colors and she'll know what you feel. But they're connected and they're best friends and they take care of each other. And then bad things happen when they try to attack a group of people that have a Blood Witch, which is basically someone, it's like, I don't even know how to explain that one, but it allows him to track them by the smell of their blood, and he wants to find her because she knows she's a Truth Witch, and they're very valuable. So a lot happens, and I cannot wait to read the second one. This is a lot of books. The next one, I also don't have the second one, but this is a dualology, and I want to read Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. The Savage Song is the first one. And it's about this world where every time you do something horrible, like murder someone or beat someone up, like really bad, a monster is created. And there's two different sides, like there's this city, a giant city, completely split in half, with one side fighting the monsters and the other side manipulating them and controlling them through power. And the daughter of the person who's like the manipulator, he owns the city and everyone pays him money for protection. She meets the son of the other side's leader who's fighting them. And a lot happens, and it's very depressing. I don't even know how to, like, describe it. Like, it's just, you need to read the book. And I'm really excited for the second one, because it's just so amazing. Next, I have Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the third book to the Raven Boys series, which is amazing. I feel like you can't even describe what happens in that book. Like, it's just like doesn't even make sense, all the stuff that happens. By the way, I have a hive here, so like, yeah, I'm allergic to my animals. But this is one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen. I love it so much. The first book is about these 3 boys, basically, who are on an adventure to find a dead king because reasons. I don't know, but it's told, the first book's told mostly from Blue, who lives in a psychic family, and she's the only one who doesn't have psychic powers. Her powers just amplify everyone else's, so when they're around her, like, her mother can, like, see things better. And she has been, ever since she was born, has been told that the first boy she kisses is gonna die. And then she meets 3 very attractive boys and becomes best friends and goes on adventures, and, you know, like, there's a lot going on. And, like, it doesn't even sound good, but it's so good, you guys. Like, it's not even, oh, you need to read it. Okay. The next book I have coming as well. This is the 3rd book. I bought the 3rd book because I ordered the 2nd book online, and I couldn't find the 3rd book on Book Depository. It wasn't there, so I just bought this one. But it's The Queen of the Tearling. I read that at the end of last year, and it's by Erica Johansson, and it's an amazing book, and I want to read this whole series. It's so good. It's about this girl who is supposed to be queen, so when she turns 19, it's kind of a weird age, I think it's 19, she goes to her kingdom, and her whole life she was raised by 2 people and taught how to raise, but she knows nothing about what's actually been going on in her kingdom. And she realizes that maybe the idea that she had of what her mother was like wasn't true, but there's this other kingdom that is very bad, and she wants to try and fix all the bad things that's going on in her kingdom, but it's not easy. There's a lot of things that's happening, and I really like this book because the main character is very strong. Like, she's just a very strong woman, and she doesn't let people push her down, and she's really awesome, and I can't wait to read it. Alright, I have a lot of books left. I'm sorry, guys. I just have a headache right now, like, really bad, and I don't feel very well, but I really want to film, and it's taking a toll on me. Maybe I should have just done 10, but I did 18. Regrets. Alright, the next book I have is Shadow, Bright, and Burning by Jessica Clues. I've never read this book. I really need to. I've had it for a while. But I'm pretty sure it's about a girl who is like the prophesized person of a story, but she doesn't think she's actually the person who's prophesized or something like that. I don't really know, but it's like wizards and stuff, and I don't, like, she's not the chosen one, but everyone thinks she is, and, like, that's the problem that we're having. The next one is A Wicked Like a Wildflower by Lana Polak. I also don't remember what this one is like. It's about, oh, I put a leaf in here. Would you look at that? That's pretty. I don't know what it's about, but there's like a special power that you have through magic, and I'm sure there's a lot of drama that's going about it. I don't really want to know what it's about. I just want to kind of go into this one, but this one's also one of the most pretty covers I have ever seen. I love it very much. My book pile is getting close to you guys seeing it. The next one I have is A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I've never read this. I really need to. It's about this guy who, it's like Victorian London, and he's going on his last hurrah before I think he has to get married and he's going with his best friend and travel all the way through Europe, but he's in love with his best friend, which means he's gay, which is probably not acceptable at this time. But maybe it is. Maybe it'll be different. But everyone loves it. Everyone thinks it's hilarious. It's also like 600 pages. Oh, right here now, the next book you're gonna see because my pile's that big. Actually, this will definitely make it. So, The Diviners by Libba Bray. I want to read the second one, which is Layers of Dream. This is one of the best books ever. Have got to say. It's just so unlike anything I've ever read. It's set in like the 1920s. Yes, in New York City. And this girl is sent to New York, even though she's kind of from like a small town in this like small country town basically. But she has the power to, when she touches something, she can see the memory involved in it. And she gets in trouble for it, for doing it at a party. and telling everyone that this guy had a baby with a maid, which is very bad and can ruin society. So she's sent away to live with her strange uncle who has a museum of eccentric things that are like haunted and stuff like that. But then at the same time, there's these murders happening, and they're kind of cult-like, and it's because someone's trying to come back from the dead, and it's super good. And and then there's other people with powers as well, and like stuff's about to go down. I have to say, I just have no idea what, and I really need to get the second one. Oh, you can't see it yet. Interesting. The next one I have is The Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkins. A book you know. Sasha from A Book Utopia. Is that right? No. Yes. She really loves this book, so I very much want to read it. I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming it's about witches. I think she finds out she's a witch, and then like the whole witch and monster and stuff society thinks she has this thing and she doesn't have it, and they're all out to kill her, I think. Yeah. Definitely what that's about. So I think it just looks really pretty, and it's going to be interesting. Ha! My stack's that high. I'm sitting on the ground. The stack is as tall as me. The next book I have is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Yeah, I just need to read this. It's good. It's awesome. It's huge, though. Also, Sasha loves this as well, so I feel like I need to read it. But it's someone who goes back in time on accident to Scotland. And then I don't really know what happens next. I'm sure, like, dangerous things happen. But it just looks really... Everyone talks about it, and everyone loves it. So I feel like I need to read it. And it's very pretty. So I'm going to read that as well. And then the last book, is the second book to And I Darken by Kirsten White. It is Now I Rise. And I'm super excited because this is one of my favorite books I've ever read. It's a retelling of Vlad the Impaler, but I very disagree with that description, to be honest. Unless some stuff goes down in this book, which is more like Vlad the Impaler, but I don't think Vlada is that ruthless. She's only killed like 3 people, and none of it has been like horrible. It's been to protect people she loves. But the first book is about this girl and her twin brother, Radu, who are sent as political hostages to the Ottoman Empire, and then they become friends with the, like, third in line for the throne, so he knows he's never going to be king, but they become friends, and a lot of things happen, and there is some LGBTQ plus in this book, which is really cool, because, like, it's a fantasy book with it, and it just seems so flawlessly to be added into the story. It doesn't seem forced, and it's very good, and I very much like it, and I can't wait to read it. I don't know why I haven't yet, and I'm gonna go to bed now, because I think I have a migraine, and I think I'm gonna puke, but I love you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Tell me what books you want to read in 2018, and, maybe I'll read them as well if they're interesting. I'm sure they will be. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.